For 7 years, my husband's family called me Barren. They mocked me, pitied me, and even searched for another wife for my husband. Then one afternoon, while looking for medical records, I found an envelope that changed everything. Welcome to the Afro Tales with Kemi, where African stories are told slowly, honestly, and with meaning. So sit back, open your heart, and walk with me through today's tale, told as always, the African way. I am Kemi Iwalesi. For 7 years, Amaka endured the same question. Any good news yet? At weddings, at birthdays, at Christmas gatherings, at church, everyone asked. Everyone speculated. Everyone blamed her. Her mother-in-law, Mama Chike, never missed an opportunity to remind people of her disappointment. At family events, she would point at children playing and sigh dramatically. A home without a child is too quiet. The comments always landed where they were intended, on Amaka. Every night, Amaka cried silently into her pillow. Every night, Chike held her and told her not to listen. But he never defended her publicly. And slowly, that silence became another wound. When Chike was 11 years old, he suffered a severe case of mumps. The family doctor warned Mama Chike that complications could one day affect his fertility. She never forgot. Years later, after marriage brought no children, she insisted that both Chike and Amaka use the family's trusted hospital. The hospital ran tests for both of them. Amaka was never the problem, but she was never told the truth. The results did not go to her first. They went to Chike's mother. She had told the doctor earlier on, if there are issues, let it be handled here, quietly within us. And in that moment, a decision was made, one that would change everything. Mama Chike visited the doctor privately and told him, "My son's name must not be damaged, whatever happens." The doctor hesitated. But the pressure of family influence, reputation, and years of loyalty weighed heavily. A decision was made. A second document was created. A doctored report which showed Amaka was the one with fertility issues. Chike was medically fit. That was the version handed over to Amaka and Chike. Chike had a severely reduced sperm count. The doctor called him privately. You can still become a father with treatments for the sperm count. Many couples overcome this. IVF may also help. But your wife must be included in these discussions. Chike sat frozen. His entire sense of manhood felt threatened. Before he could process the news, Mama Chike stepped in. No one must know. And so the lie began. Not a spoken lie, a hidden truth. Sometimes silence is the most damaging lie of all. Years passed. The burden grew heavier. Relatives suggested prayers. Prophets suggested deliverance. Neighbors suggested herbal remedies. Family friends suggested a second wife. Mama Chike quietly encouraged all of it. Every cruel word directed at Amaka felt like protection for her son. What she never realized was that she was protecting one child by destroying another person's child. Meanwhile, Chike suffered in silence. Every insult directed at Amaka stabbed his conscience. Every tear she shed reminded him of the truth. Yet each year made confession harder. Fear became a habit, and habit became cowardice. By the 7th year, Mama Chike had become desperate. She began introducing younger women to her son, at first subtly, then openly. One evening, Amaka overheard a conversation. A man deserves children. If one woman cannot give them to him, another can. Her heart shattered. That night, she begged Chike, "Please, tell me you haven't given up on us." He hugged her, but he did not tell her the truth. And for the first time, Amaka felt completely alone. Then something unexpected happened. Amaka missed her period. A hospital test confirmed what she scarcely dared believe. She was pregnant. After 7 painful years, after countless tears, after endless humiliation, pregnant, the entire family celebrated. Even Mama Chike wept tears of joy. But beneath the celebration, a secret remained buried. 5 months into the pregnancy, complications emerged. A specialist requested copies of all previous fertility investigations. Amaka returned home looking for the records. Chike was at work. She searched through an old filing cabinet. She found the results she kept. Then she found a sealed envelope from their family hospital. At first, she smiled. Surely there were more records. Then she opened it. Her smile disappeared. Inside were test results, her own original reports, then several other reports of Chike's, his fertility treatments, then a handwritten note. "Chike, I strongly advise that your wife be included in all future discussions regarding your diagnosis and treatment options." She had been suffering because of a doctored report. One report told her she was the problem. Another report told him she was not. And between those two versions, a marriage was quietly destroyed. The date stopped her breathing. 3 years earlier. 3 years. 3 years of blame. 3 years of humiliation. 3 years of watching her suffer. And he had known. She sat on the floor holding the papers. Everything suddenly made sense. The whispers, the pity, the silence, the guilt in Chike's eyes. She planned to confront him that evening, but fate had other plans. Before that confrontation could happen, Amaka suffered a severe pregnancy complication at the hospital. She collapsed. Doctors rushed her into emergency care. For days, she drifted between life and death. Then she slipped into a coma. Days passed. Hope began to fade. One afternoon, Amaka regained consciousness. Her body was weak. Her eyes remained closed. Then she heard voices inside her room. Mama Chike was speaking. If she survives, she survives. Life must continue. Another woman asked quietly, "What about the child?" Mama Chike sighed. "God will decide." Then came the sentence that froze Amaka's blood. At least now, nobody will know the problem was Chike. Amaka's eyes flew open. Mama Chike knew. The envelope had revealed the truth. This conversation confirmed the conspiracy. After recovering enough to speak, Amaka asked Chike to visit alone. She handed him the envelope. His face lost all color. The room fell silent. Finally she asked, "How many times did you read this letter before deciding I should carry your shame?" Chike broke down. Not only because he had been caught, because there was no answer, no explanation, no excuse, only regret. Weeks later, Amaka called a family meeting. Everyone expected celebration. Instead, they received the truth. She read the doctor's letter aloud. Then she revealed everything. The diagnosis, the doctored reports, the hidden reports, the years of silence, the insults, the blame, the second wife discussions. The room sat in stunned silence. For the first time in years, nobody had anything to say. That night, Mama Chike could not sleep. She replayed every cruel comment she had made, every gathering, every insult, every tear. For years, she believed she was protecting her son. Now she understood she had been sacrificing an innocent woman. Days later, she visited Amaka alone. She wept openly. "If someone treated my daughter the way I treated you, I would call them wicked." Then she whispered, "I never stopped to imagine that you were somebody else's child." For the first time, Amaka saw genuine remorse. The lie was exposed, but trust was gone. Amaka no longer leaned on Chike, no longer confided in him, no longer trusted him with her fears. One evening he said, "I never stopped loving you." Amaka replied softly, "Love wasn't the problem." Those words haunted him. Love wasn't the problem. Cowardice was. Healing took months, not days, not weeks, months. Chike attended counseling. He corrected every false rumor. He publicly accepted responsibility. No more silence, no more hiding. Slowly, Amaka saw change. Not promises, actions. And actions are what rebuild broken trust. Months later, a healthy baby girl entered the world. Joy filled the family. Mama Chike held her granddaughter and cried harder than anyone else. Not because she finally had a grandchild, because she almost lost the woman who brought that child into their lives. A few months later, family and friends gathered. The occasion was special. Their daughter's dedication and the renewal of Amaka and Chike's wedding vows. Many expected celebrations. Nobody expected a confession. When invited to speak, Mama Chike approached the microphone. The hall became quiet. "Many people know me as a strong woman." She paused. "Today I stand before you as a woman who was wrong." The room froze. She told the truth, the whole truth. Then she said, "Before you judge another person's child, imagine that child is your own." Many guests wiped tears from their eyes. Others lowered their heads. She turned toward Amaka. "I almost destroyed this marriage. God gave me a second chance. I did not deserve. Chike took Amaka's hands. His voice trembled. Years ago, I promised to stand beside you. Tears filled his eyes. But when you needed me most, I stood behind my fear. The hall was silent. Today, I promise something different. Never again will silence speak for me. Amaka squeezed his hand. Not because the pain never happened, but because healing had. Music filled the reception hall. Their daughter slept peacefully in her mother's arms. Mama Chike watched from across the room. For years she had prayed for a grandchild. Now she understood the greater blessing. Not the child, the truth. Because the truth had saved a family that silence almost destroyed. A lie told to protect someone's pride can destroy the people who love them most. Before you judge another person's child, ask yourself if you would accept that same treatment for your own. Truth may hurt, but silence can ruin lives. Silence may feel like protection, but it often becomes the loudest form of betrayal.
When the drum speaks, Africa remembers. When stories rise.